we've already set up your background. People know about Barack Obama's background. And here's what you said in SOT2.
I used to do a couple fill-ins on The View. Mm-hmm. And I guess this was even before. This is when Obama was still president. And Barbara Walters, like, ripped me live TV and then afterwards too, because they were wondering, they're like, why is it so important to you to say that you're biracial? I'm like, because my mom's white, she's Irish Italian, and my dad's black. And I'm like, why not? Like, I actually feel like I have the best of both worlds. Yeah. And I think it's a huge blessing, and why not? And she's like, well, what happens when you fill out your census? I'm like, well, I don't know when the last time I filled out my census was, but if they make you choose a race, she's like, what are you going to put? I go, well, both. She's like, well, you can't. She goes, well, what if Barack Obama chose black and he's biracial? I'm like, well, congratulations to the president. That's his thing. I go, I think that's fascinating considering his black dad was nowhere to be found, but his white mom and grandma raised him. But hey, you do you. I'm going to do me.
That is honest. It's totally reasonable. And it's your point of view. Normally, especially for a biracial woman who had made it in a man's industry, the left would be celebrating you for speaking so openly and taking it. But no, you said the wrong thing, you see. You're entitled to an opinion just so long as it aligns with their views on race. That's the problem. Even you, as a biracial woman, can get slammed, can get criticized, can be called all sorts of terrible things because your views on race only count if they align with theirs. Somebody online was calling you Clarence Thomas. I'm like, okay, that's a compliment. So
I think so.
Right? Like, if you're trying to insult her, you should try harder. But that's because, it happens to him too, right? Like, the views, your skin color doesn't count unless you say all the things that the left wants you to be saying about something as dicey as race.
Barack Obama wrote a book about his black father not being there. This was not breaking news. To me, it goes back. First, can I thank you, Megyn, because of the thousands of times that the controversial clip of Obama, that comment by me, has run. You are the first person who has ever played the entire thing with the context, which happens to matter, about The View. This would never have come up. Barbara Walters, Sherry Shepard, Whoopi Goldberg, Jenny McCarthy, and Sherry and Jenny were great. Whoopi ended up being quite nice about it after, which is a story in the book when Barbara Walters tried to tackle me in the green room, but it's fine. Barbara Walters is the one that went nuts and asked me about it live on TV. This is in 2014. I said almost the exact same thing in 2014 live on ABC, which happens to be owned also by Disney. But 7 years later, what I said apparently is not okay. And granted, it's a year and a half after George Floyd, times had changed, but the facts remain the same. So once again, and I've said this a million times, this is kind of like my attempt at levity, but I'm pretty sure that my white mom was there when I was born. So you're damn right I'm going to identify as white as well as black. I am so blessed to be loved equally by my white family as well as my black family. And if anything, people talk about how much I hate myself and I must hate my black father and my black family and I'm racist and I'm a sellout and I'm a coon and I'm all the most negative words that you can think of, which it's amazing because most of the hatred comes from people who look like me.
Sage.
It's okay because it's been my whole life, which is why this is so sensitive. But I refuse to be quiet about this anymore. And by the way, no matter what I said, I have that right to feel the way I feel based on my experience. I'm not talking about statistics and I'm not doing highlights on SportsCenter and I'm oh my gosh, I got the stat wrong. I pronounced his name wrong. Get called in the boss's office or get an email because you factually said something incorrect. This is my story. I can feel how I want. about my upbringing. And I am so proud of my family. And to tell me that it's not okay to have that opinion is wrong. And the thing is, whenever I have talked about being biracial, and it has been controversial at other times, not to this level, I've had people wait in line for an hour, young biracial kids, say thank you, because I get forced to choose. And it's interesting because you're only pushed to choose one side. If I had said, I'm a Black woman, don't call me biracial, I would have been celebrated. But because I chose to honor my mother as well. So the good thing is, I don't care anymore because this is my experience. And if I allow others to continue to take things away from me, then that's on me. And I refuse. So I obviously it's an emotional topic because you get tired of feeling like you're not enough. And I was celebrated. Oh my gosh, look at that girl. Do you know how many people, thousands of people through the years have come up and said, wow, you left your hair curly. You owned your curls. Most women with curly hair, white or Black, are told to straighten it and have like the anchor bob going and look like a tradition. I have had people at ESPN, bosses, not only tell me to stop wearing heels because I'm too tall next to the short guys on TV, but to straighten my hair. And wow, you look so good and so different. I don't know how to straighten it. It takes hours. I don't have time. I had 3 kids. And oh, by the way, this is how God gave me. Excuse me, this is how God made me. I'm okay being me, finally. So I'm allowed to have an opinion. I'm allowed to have an opinion about women because I am one, and I've been there, and I've been through discrimination in every aspect of being a woman in a locker room with coaches and coworkers and bosses who are misogynists. And I pushed through it. I've been there. I'm allowed to have an opinion on a vaccine mandate that I disagreed with, but did anyway. And I'm allowed to have an opinion on being a proud biracial woman who is so proud of every aspect of my entire family and my faults, my weaknesses, and my good spots too, what makes me a good human being. So I'm allowed to feel the way I'm allowed to feel. And when you try to silence me, I'm done. I'm done. Wow. And if not for me, for so many other people who have been silenced because they're a little bit different and don't fit in with the social norm, that is divisiveness. That is ugliness. And that is not what America is supposed to be.
As I listen to you, I'm thinking about Glenn Lowry, who came on the show early on. It was very close to the George Floyd thing when we launched. And I asked him, what is the solution to these divisive messages that are dominating the news these days? And he said, honestly, we need more biracial marriages and biracial children. That's the solution. In the same way that I think the solution to like the Me Too problem is mothers of both boys and girls who want due process for the accused, but also don't want their girls harassed or hurt. And so I look at you and I say, oh, she's the solution. Like this person is one of the few chosen who can get us through this mess, who's got like this unique perspective, who we should really be listening to. But unfortunately, that's not how these others feel. Like the people who dominate our media circles, who dominate social media, who have been driving the narrative on this race debate. As you point out, you can only say, no, I'm Black. That's fine. Can you imagine they would have been fine if you said I'm Black. Can you imagine if you said I'm white? They would.
Because I'm exactly 50% of each. Look at the pictures that you've been showing on the screen for the last several minutes. Like, I would have been completely celebrated. I would still be the it girl, which is never anything I dreamt of being. I would still be on the top shows. I would have been celebrated. I would have been on all those race specials, wouldn't I have? I wouldn't. Yes. The ones I wasn't allowed to be on. I would have been there. But because I was true to who I am, what is in my blood, that's not okay. And that's fine, because you know what? It's their loss. And I am unafraid to now talk, because I agree. Like, I mean, that's what the military was, Megyn. It's just so, I always said it was the most diverse yet sheltered world because there were so many interracial marriages and we took care of each other because we knew what it was like to move across the world. It was so beautiful. And I didn't know about this hatred until I got out of that environment. So I feel like God has put me here for a reason, not just the way he made me, but here and here now. To get out there and have this conversation and to call out the hypocrisy, because that is what it is. And until someone has the courage to call it out on a larger platform, this will continue. And frankly, there's so many people who are afraid to speak up and even ask questions of people of color because they're going to be deemed a racist. And that we're going backwards. It feels like my mother and father said, it feels like when they were getting married and fighting and to be relevant with their own families in 1970, 71. This is pathetic and it's inexcusable and we have to stop. And I'm just not, I want to be there. I want to help because I don't want anyone to ever feel the way that I felt despite being at the top of my profession. It's time. And I want to have people talk and own it.
Yes.
You can't have it both ways. You can't preach diversity and equity and inclusion and tolerance and then cut people off because they don't believe the way that you say they're supposed to believe because of the color of their skin or their gender. It is wrong and I'm done.
Done. So done. I'm done with you. Look at the mirror. Do you see those dark spots? Well, they're not going to go away on their own, folks, sadly. Introducing the Dark Spot Corrector from Genucel. Perfect for summer. The Dark Spot Corrector, with not one but 3 cutting-edge ingredients, goes to work fast to target sunspots, dark spots, liver spots, even old discoloration, both on your face and hands. Enjoy your summer sun, beach, and barbecues without embarrassing spots. With Genucel, you'll see the results or your money back, no questions asked. Go to Genucel.com right now, get your Dark Spot Corrector with the new Genucel Most Popular package, and say goodbye to those pesky spots tomorrow. And if you're not blown away with the results, get 100% of your money back, no questions asked. Visit Genucel.com/MK60 right now for these amazing summer essentials and save over 70% off Genucel's most popular package. Don't wait. Order Genucel's most popular package now. Get free shipping, free returns, and the best luxury skincare you've ever used. All at 70% off. Genucel.com/MK60. GENUCEL.com/MK60. All orders include a mystery luxury gift while supplies last. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.